Visit to Club Superstar. The official opening is 3 weeks away once we get some playoff games under our belt. Quick reminder of the esoteric rules of the club.
It's not esoteric, very straightforward.
12 people max, 1 in, 1 out, and you have to wear your jersey. Let's take a look at last year's members. AD, Booker, Butler, Dame, Joel, Giannis, Joker, KD, LeBron, Luka, Steph, and Tatum all in the club. Waiting in line, Ant-Man, Donovan, Fox, Ja, and SGA, and then kicked out.
All right, well, let me tell you right now, you got to kick it. Before they go, and I'm going to let the whole clip play, but I just want to say, you obviously got to bring in Ant-Man and SGA, and you take out Booker, without a doubt. And then it's a toss-up between Butler and Dame. And I love Butler, and I love Damian Lillard, but it's more of like an age thing at this point. And also now with, Dame being and Butler being injured. So it would be a toss-up between those two. But I don't think Ja's getting in there, and Fox doesn't deserve to be in there, and Donovan not either. So
CP3, Kawhi, kind of an age limit type thing. They didn't really want to be in the club.
And to be fair, Ja was in, had left, and then they told him you can't come back. You see, his seat was up there, so he kind of got kicked out as well. That's what it looked like last year.
So, you want to go? You want me to pass it to Brew?
No, so, Brew, here's the problem, if I may. There's a lot of young folks banging on the door.
Yeah, they are.
And the 1 in, 1 out part of it makes it so tricky, because some would argue there's 3 or 4 guys who made themselves superstars this year that are not there, and it's not necessarily the people who are waiting in line. Like, for instance, Jalen Brunson was not in that line. Jalen Brunson has made a case. Might have been a rookie that made a case that he's a superstar.
Oh, Chet.
But
Chet.
But so I have an idea on who I think is most nervous about this incoming class, but I don't know where you stand on it. So yeah, that's where I stand.
Well, I've got. I hate to do it. He's my man, but I got 2 that are definitely coming out.
Definitely out.
2 that are you have Anthony Edwards is in.
Correct.
So he's the first one you'd have in.
Well, no, first would be SGA.
So you'd have SGA in.
Yeah.
All right.
2 got to come out.
So SGA is in. Jimmy Butler's out.
It's fair.
So you have. Okay, well, again, we'll take it under advisement. But go ahead. Yeah.
Ant-Man is in.
Someone's got to
It's
come.
between Dame and D-Book.
Depends on the playoffs. That's why we're doing a preview.
Yeah, right.
I'm taking
And this
Booker
is
out.
playoff club superstar.
No, this is Club Superstar.
Yeah, one of them is coming out.
But
Right now, I'm going to go Booker just because I had him on my All-NBA third team.
Can I make a case?
And then the third one, Dame is on. Look, Wemby, I don't know yet.
But what about Jalen Brunson?
I need to see it for another year.
Oh, so what if he takes the Knicks to the conference finals?
I think I still need.
I got somebody who needs to go.
I need another year.
Somebody who needs to go.
Yeah.
Other than the people we had on this list.
I think I know.
It's a
You want me to
center.
guess? Oh, it's a center. I'm wrong.
Well, or a large forward who should be playing center. AD needs to go for Wemby. Wemby is a superstar. AD's not even a Defensive Player of the Year finalist. So
Okay, well that's
what do you want? Well,
bad voting by Bruce
it's
Colliers.
it's actually just the truth. Okay, here's the reason why.
Wemby instead
Well,
of
Wemby's. If you're going to tell me how great AD is at defense, Wemby's a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, and AD wasn't. That's a lot of the crux of how good he is. He's also headed to a first-round exit. Now, granted, Wemby only won about 20-something games, but still, the future is bright. Other sign of superstar, moving merch. You know I'm a merch guy.
Okay,
It's a sign of being a superstar. Selling the 4th most jerseys, it's a clear indication of who's a superstar. And 3, Brew, when we all went to a game, everybody comes through the Garden. Who do we say, we know what? We have to see this guy because he's a superstar.
That's true.
Wemby. We went to the Garden.
Jeez, man. Hold on.
I was not dressed like that.
All right, so let's just go back to the list because they're just kind of bantering now. Where is this list? The old list. Okay. All right. So we know Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, LeBron, Luka, Steph, and Tatum. Now, I could see the argument. You guys know I'm a big KD fan. I love KD. You starting to debate KD and AD. I mean, I'm still keeping KD. It's hard because superstar, and this is what Wilds is talking about. It's more than just your elite level play, right? This isn't necessarily maybe just the top players in the NBA, that it's also, you know, what is a superstar, what puts butts in the seats, jerseys, all of that. So it's interesting, right? Because it's not his mountain, because, you know, Nick has his own little mountain thing. So superstar definitely encapsulates a few things, more than just how good are you. And under that logic, I would say that AD then is not necessarily a superstar. Whether it was because he plays with LeBron, so it's, you know, he's overshadowed, or his inconsistent play and inability to ever really make moves or carry a team, I think that could be. And what was his big? I know he's obviously had moments in the playoffs and just, you know, throughout his career, but. And I know for a while there was some debate of like, he's one of the best players in the NBA. You know, some people saying top 3, top 5, top 2, you know, and I get it. But like, Giannis has that 50-point game of like, no, we're going to win. You know, Jokic obviously winning a title and doing all that. Embiid just the other day had that 50-point game. Tatum is constantly, consistently leading the Celtics, you know, deep into the playoffs. I know Tatum gets a lot of hate, but I don't think he deserves it. You know, Damian Lillard once upon a time did, and now for years not. Like, it's hard, and I never judge a player just based off of their playoff success. It depends if they constantly fail in the playoffs, and it's clearly because of their fault, and it's their fault, and there's no other circumstances, which is why I hold, say, like a Dak Prescott's feet to the fire, and not necessarily, you know, a Damian Lillard. Because what did you want Damian Lillard to do all those years with the Blazers? It's like, I don't know what you're expecting. Same thing with AD when he was with New Orleans. You know, like, it's just like, what you expecting him to be able to win with this roster when, like, LeBron James has never won with a poor roster, and Steph Curry, it's like, how many championships? And I love Steph Curry. He's arguably my favorite player for the last 10 years. And it's like, would he have won the rings, you know, without KD? Let's just put those aside. Let's just do the 2 without KD. Would he won without Klay Thompson and Draymond Green? Of course not. 2 bona fide Hall of Famers. And there's not even a question. 2, without a doubt, Hall of Famers. You know, and again, is Steph Curry the engine behind all that? Without a doubt. Again, love Steph. But basketball, you need more than just one player. You need a complete team. You clearly need stars. Everyone knows, too, that I'm not a big Kyrie fan, and yet LeBron James isn't winning in Cleveland without Kyrie. So you need dogs. You need guys that can at least step up and play, maybe not as consistent as a true superstar, but they need to have those moments. They need to have those Klay Thompson, you know, 30-point quarters or whatever, you know, the brilliance and leadership of a Draymond Green and whatnot. So that's where... you know, this list is pretty interesting. And I like this list because it's different than just rating people based off of how good they are. But to me, you know, watching Ant and watching SGA has been just awesome. You know, really is. Ant talks a little bit more trash than I would like. I always thought that he was in that movie Hustle, and I thought that was more like not really his personality. And now it seems like they've taken some of that. I don't love big trash talkers personally. And that's when I judge someone on likability. Like Luka, and I've said this and people got real angry about me. Like, Luka's not likable. I understand if you're a Dallas fan, and if you're just a basketball fan as a whole, Luka's game is likable. Luka's personality is not. He got another technical in a close game. You know, when they're battling, he's crying to the refs, not getting back on defense, and it's like, that's not likable. That makes you angry. That makes you really angry. And especially, like, if you're a Dallas fan, you should be angry about that. You should be like, Luka, grow up, get back. You could not be complaining. And again, I also blame the NBA. The NBA allows all these players to constantly complain and bark at the refs, and I just can't believe that the NBA has not said enough. If you want to talk to the refs occasionally and bring up, hey, you know, the guy's tugging my jersey, he's pulling my arm, like, I get that. But to constantly yell, throw your hands in the air, it's not what I like to see. It's not likable. It's not enjoyable. SGA makes a basket or gets fouled. That I'm not going to say that someone like an SGA never complains. I'm sure you can cut together a whole highlight reel, but it's nowhere near on the level of, say, you know, a Luka. And Jokic, I started seeing him bark more at the refs, and I don't love. I know when they lost on Saturday, it was not their best moment, and so maybe that's why frustration. But I don't love it. I really, really don't. And it just seems to be, to me, it's a fundamental problem within the NBA because people don't like to watch other people complain in that regard. Like I just think it's a bad look. And so the reason why I'm talking about this is because we're talking about the likability factor and what makes someone a superstar. And I just think that you have to take in personality, in that regard. And so that's why Ant and SGA, on top of not only their play and how they've been playing in the playoffs, I just don't see how you could keep them in, how you could keep them out, but then Booker. And, adding Wembanyama is an interesting one because he's obviously kind of an instant superstar and has had a lot of success, but obviously zero playoff success, and their team hasn't been good. And so I think in order to be a superstar, you have to see what a player can do in tight moments in an actual competitive season. And Wembanyama played with the Spurs, and they were not. They weren't even remotely successful in that regard. So I don't think you could put him in superstar. You could talk about his fame and his skill set, but I think there's another layer of that. I think you need to actually be dueling, battling, truly, be in these gotta win games and then see what Wembanyama can do. Because as of right now, Wembanyama has played with zero stakes in the NBA. Even if it's a close game, it doesn't actually matter because it wasn't for anything. So those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.